Guys, this your boy Knockout 360 here with another video for you guys. So as you can see, I got my hoodie on. You can probably hear it's raining. It's getting about that time of the year, winter weather. It's like 45 here in Charlotte, man. Raining all day, horrible day, but we're gonna shoot a video anyway, right? And as you can see, Charlotte Hornets representing all day in every way. We're doing pretty good this year. The Panthers are doing even better, so whatever there. Just wanted to insert that in there. But with all seriousness, guys, I wanted to come to you to talk about this because one topic that came up in one of my group chats with my car club was basically paint protection and protecting your car from, you know, dings, scratches, things of that sort. And that's something that I know all too well because every single time I go to wash my car, and I think I speak for a lot of people, you see a new scratch, a new chip, a new, you know, just something that doesn't come out, and you get in there and you push it real good and you wax it real good and you're using your product on it and it just doesn't come out, and you realize that that's not something that's, you know, buried in there. That's actually your paint is gone, like something happened.
Yeah, well,
would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
And hit your paint and it chipped off. You know what I'm saying? Rock chips do that all the time. And for all you guys that have well, you know, rocks do that all the time when you're driving and shit like that. You'll have cars in front of you flinging rocks. Most recently with me, I actually got two cracks in my windows, very small ones here from like those big oversized lifted trucks throwing rocks and hitting your window here. That happened to me. Fortunately, that was taken care of by my insurance. But, you know, of course, for the front end of the car, that takes the most damage, right? And that's just something that, I mean, you really can't stop if you didn't use preventative measures up front when you initially bought the car, right? Aside from buying a new front bumper, which I don't think anybody would do for a couple rock chips, at least not what I have. But that's something that I know all too well. Every time I wash my car, I see a new chip, a new ding, a new, you know, it's always small stuff. It's never like anything huge where it's a huge part of my car missing or a huge blemish. It's always small shit, little small nicks in the paint, little small nicks in the front end of the car, small stuff, you know, the kind of stuff that, like I said, if you didn't get up on it and look at it, you wouldn't see it. You know, from a distance, it looks perfectly fine, but to a car guy like myself, and I'm sure you all are, it's a huge deal, right? So there's really only one way to protect yourself from that, and it's kind of an initial protection, because after the fact it kind of makes no sense, and that's to look into either paint protection of some sort. Right now, there's two really common ones, well, three really common ones that a lot of people will look to. The first one, which is the cheapest route and kind of like it doesn't protect as much, is just your standard wax. Everybody uses wax at some point on their car. You know, you're waxing the car. Right now I'm using Chemical Guys, I think it's Butter Wax, and I love that product because it gives my car a shine, and it also protects it against the rain and like UV and shit like that. I mean, but of course it's not going to protect your car at all against like rocks and all kinds of debris hitting your car when you're driving. You know, little concrete pieces, rocks, any kind of tree debris hitting your car while you're driving, stuff that actually damages and scratches your car. I apologize for the ambient noise here. It is raining and I'm parked under a tree, so, you know, we can just add that in. Maybe it'll make the video more relaxing, right? You know, the first one is wax, which is just your kind of standard, you know, you can get that from any car detailing shop. You can get it from anywhere, to be quite honest with you. You can probably go to Walmart and get it, Amazon and get it. I actually got my butter wax made by Chemical Guys from Amazon. And as you know, we have a new store in Charlotte, Detail Garage, where I get all my products from that point on. You know, wax is only good for, it's strictly a liquid paste. It's a liquid paste that you put on your car and you rub it in, or at least, you know, that's how my butter wax works, is where it's a liquid and you put it on a microfiber pad, you wipe it in after your car is all cleaned, of course, and it gives it a great shine. It gives it that, you know, that luster or whatever, but it only really protects it from the rain. So when the rain hits it, it'll bead up and just, you know, kind of roll off or whatever, as opposed to staining your car. And of course, you know, the elements and stuff like that, I would assume it probably protects against, you know, I guess any kind of damage that may come with, like, you know, UV exposure, you know, being out in the sun too long, or maybe during the winter time if it's real cold, however, you know, temperature affects your paint. Simple stuff like that. And of course, as you know, like I know, wax is really cheap. I mean, I think I paid like 19 bucks for that wax. You can get wax significantly cheaper. Go up to AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly's, you know, Napa Auto Parts and get wax for probably like $5, $6, $7. You know, simple stuff. Now, of course, the more you spend, the more you expect it to do. But for the most part, it's really cheap and straightforward. You just put it on there, let it go to work. It's one of those things where you will be applying layers to it probably every 3 to 6 months. I think with my butter wax, it's supposed to last like 3 to 6 months, somewhere in that realm there. And that all depends on, you know, how much you're driving it, what kind of temperatures and environments it's exposed to. But it's a cheap method of protecting your paint in the short term and against small things, right? Kind of like environment and nature type things, right? That's the first route that you can take, is buying wax, which I said is really cheap. You can probably get some wax anywhere between like $7 to a couple $100, you know, depending on the upper echelon of waxes. The second route is to Ceramic Pro your car, right? Ceramic Pro, which is also a liquid, but it's a liquid that when you put it on the paint, it bonds with it and it creates almost an additional layer of paint, kind of like a clear coat, but much more durable, much more hard, right? And the purpose of this particular method of protecting your paint is it actually does protect against, you know, small rock chips, acorns, the elements. It does. Some Ceramic Pros will help, you know, the water bead off of your car, obviously to protect it against like UV exposure to the sun. It'll protect it against the elements, you know, if you live in a cold climate up north, or you know, up north, far up north or whatever. It'll protect you against, you know, snow and things like that on your paint. It's not perfect by any means because it is a liquid, and the purpose of it is it bonds with the paint. So the chemicals used in the paint and the chemicals used in the Ceramic Pro, they bond and they essentially create an exoskeleton, or maybe an exterior shell on your paint. Right now, the benefit of this is that it's just a liquid. It's a lot easier to put on. All right, so let's go over some of the benefits of Ceramic Pro in your car. Now, it is expensive. When I say expensive, that's kind of relative to, I guess, however much you make. Ceramic Pros can be anywhere between like $300 up to $1,100, maybe even $2,000. We'll get into that. So the first benefit is obviously that it is much more resistant and durable than just any kind of standard wax that you can buy, right? Because like I said, it's a chemical that bonds with the chemicals in the paint. It's a liquid chemical that bonds with the chemicals in the paint to form an exterior shield, an exterior, you know, shell around your car, right? And you can do this on the entire car. You can do it on certain parts of the car. You can do this to the exterior of the car, whatever parts of the car you choose, bits and pieces, or if you want to do it to the entire car, whatever the case may be. The pros of that is it's a lot harder than your standard wax. The other benefit is that it's easier to clean. And when I say easier to clean, I mean, whereas with the wax, there's always a chance that you could end up cleaning the wax off. A lot of waxes will have like a caution on the back. Don't use this type of product. Don't use this type of chemical on this wax because it could end up, you know, removing the wax. That's not something you have to worry about with Ceramic Pro and ceramic coating your car, right? I don't know why I'm saying Ceramic Pro, but ceramic coating your car, that's not something you have to worry about. You can clean it, use any kind of product that you choose. For the most part, I don't think that there's any restricted products that you can or can't use, but it's easier to clean in that sense. You can just go and clean it however you choose. Take it to the, you know, the detailing garage and hit it with the foam, and hit it with the cannon, the water cannon, or whatever the case may be. You know, pressure, high pressure water or whatever, and not have to worry about essentially wiping it off, right? You just spent all that money on it. The last thing you want to do is clean it and essentially wipe it off, right? Just like wax is, it does increase the shine on it because it is a liquid. So it's almost a liquid wax, but it's a better, more advanced liquid than just your standard wax, right? So it increases the shine on it, right? So it's, in and of itself, it's a shine product. It's a, you know, a shining product in and of itself. So it's going to increase that shine on your car, especially if you got like a nice colored car like mine, or pretty much any color, you know. It's going to increase the shine, increase the luster, and it's also going to work just like a wax in the sense that the water, when the water hits, it's going to bead up. It's going to bead up and roll off. And that's not something that you have to reapply or reinstall every 6 months. That's permanent, depending on the kind of ceramic coating that you go for, right? Another benefit is that they call it greatly enhanced chemical resistance. In other words, it's going to resist more than your standard wax. I mean, you could probably go ahead and ceramic coat your car. For you guys that live up north, that have a lot, that deal with snow, that deal with, you know, freezing rain, slush, all that stuff, wax isn't going to protect against that for the most part. It's really not. I mean, wax is really only good for shining and protecting your car maybe against like UV stuff that essentially doesn't really touch the car for the most part, right? With the exception of rain, because it's just going to beat off with the rain. Well, with ceramic coating, it's actually going to beat off, as far as the water is concerned, beat off of the car, not beat off. Beat off of the car as far as the water is concerned. It's also going to protect you against the elements, UV, low temperatures, high temperatures, whatever the case may be. You don't have to worry about your paint fading over time. In theory, it should also protect against like maybe some minor snow on the car, things of that sort. It's not the best when it comes to rock chips and actual physical things hitting your car and possibly damaging your car. That's going to be what we're going to get into next. It's more so an advanced wax. It's an advanced, better, more durable, more expensive wax than just your standard run-of-the-mill store-bought wax, right? The one thing that, you know, is similar to wax, kind of like your store-bought wax, is that it can be repaired as well. So in the instance that maybe you live in like Arizona or California, one of the hot states, and you have your car ceramic coated, then there's a chance that maybe over time that ceramic coating has worn down, right? I did state that it's permanent. Well, it's permanent depending on the ceramic coating that you put on your car. Maybe over time that ceramic coating has worn down. Well, the good thing about it is most manufacturers will offer a warranty that allows you to come back in and have them go ahead and repair that part of the ceramic coating that's starting to wear, right? So you can take it into the shop wherever you had it done, as long as it's within warranty and as long as it's not something that I guess you did, maybe get into a car accident or something like that. I highly doubt that they're going to cover that, but just your normal wear and tear, they will take care of that. They will repair it and re-ceramic coat that part of the car that needs that coating, right? So it's the repairability factor. So it's just like wax in the sense that you can just add more wax if the wax comes off. You can just ceramic pro it in that particular area as well, right? So we're talking about repairability. It allows you to repair it, right? Now the reason that's important is because of what I'm going to mention in my next point. Repairability is not an option, right? Those are some of the pros of having your car ceramic pro or ceramic coated. Now that is a liquid, like I said, it's a liquid. It's not an actual film. It's not sheets. It's not anything like that. It's an actual liquid that they put on your car. And because of the chemicals in the ceramic coating, as well as the chemicals in the paint, it allows those two to bond and create an adhesive. It creates an exoskeleton on the car, essentially. It creates another shell on top of the paint, which allows it to protect from, you know, the basic elements, things of that sort. Now, it's not perfect in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Like I stated earlier, it would not protect against like physical items such as rocks hitting your car, rock chips, little acorns and branches and things like that if you're parked under a tree like I am currently. A lot of the things that you see when you get out to wash your car, it's not going to protect against, but it is a better means of protection than not having anything, right? It's a better means of protection than not having anything, especially depending on the climate and the environment that you live in, right? If you live up north and you're subject to those cold temperatures, freezing rain, slush, snow, ice, sleet, all that stuff, you want to have your car ceramic coated, right? Because it's going to protect against that for the most part. A lot better than not having anything else, and a lot better than just your standard wax. If you live on the West Coast, Arizona, California, those hot states, Oklahoma, even in Texas, kind of the Midwest area, you're going to want to have your car ceramic coated as well, because it's going to protect against what? The environment. Those hot states, those temperatures get anywhere between 100 to 120 degrees, speaking about Arizona, New Mexico, places like that, you're going to want to have your car ceramic coated, right? And it's a cheaper option than what we're going to talk about next, which is actually going with the paint protection film. It's that kind of mid-level borderline option. Now, a lot of companies, and when I say companies, I'm talking about Ceramic Pro. That's the name of the company. That's where I'm getting this confused at. Ceramic Pro is a company that actually provides the ceramic coatings that you can put on your car, right? So Ceramic Pro actually offers kits. They offer different kits, different packages that you can put on your car, and of course each package is more expensive than the next. Each package offers something that the previous package doesn't, right? So Ceramic Pro, they offer your silver, your bronze, well, your bronze, your silver, and your gold packages. They call them Ceramic Pro Bronze, Silver, Gold. Ceramic Pro Bronze is one layer of Ceramic Pro for typically about $360. That's the entire car, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, we're talking about the entire car. That's just one layer, 2-year warranty. So that's Ceramic Pro Bronze, which is the bottom level. One layer, $360, 2-year warranty. So that's one layer for the entire car, $360. You get a 2-year warranty. For my environment, for where I live, that will probably be sufficient, right? I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. We get cold winters and we get hot summers, don't get me wrong, but we don't get anything compared to a New York, a Canada, or Arizona, a California. We don't get those extreme weather shifts, you know, like those cities and states and regions get. We don't have to worry about that. We kind of get the in-between. When it's cold, it's cold. It typically snows maybe twice a year here, and even when it snows, it's always snow. It's never anything, you know, too dangerous, like, you know, covering your car. It's always anywhere between, I'd say, maybe 3 to 6 feet of snow, right? That's typically what we see on a yearly basis. So nothing too crazy. This is the kind of snow that you can drive in, put it to you like that. Nothing like what you would see up north or, you know, in those areas or whatever. So one layer would typically be fine. $360, 2-year warranty. That's not a bad deal, you know, to be honest with you. That's the Ceramic Pro Bronze. That's the base, right? Ceramic Pro Silver is 2 layers of the ceramic coating, $690 in the 5-year warranty. Once again, for my environment, that's probably not a bad deal at all. $590 for the entire car, and you get a 5-year warranty. That's not bad. 2 layers of the Ceramic Pro or Ceramic Pro coating. That's not bad at all. That would certainly do the job for my car, to be quite honest with you, as far as protecting my car. The 3rd layer is, of course, Ceramic Pro Gold. That's 5 layers of the coating and a lifetime warranty, but that comes at a hefty price of $1,199, right? So 5 years, 5 coatings, 5-layer coating, and a lifetime warranty. Now, in a situation like that, that's probably what you want to invest in if you do live in those regions that I was just talking about. You're up north, you're out west, where you got those extreme weather shifts where it can be 100 degrees in this particular season, and then 5 degrees in this season, and 10 feet of snow, 20 feet of snow, whatever the case may be. Those are the environments that you want to have that 5-layer protection. Not to mention it comes with a lifetime warranty. And as I said, if something happens in the event that the coating has worn off or maybe has blemished or anything like that, you can always take it back to the shop, have them take care of it for free. It's a lifetime of the car warranty, right? That warranty, and it's going to take care of you for life, which is great to have. $1,100 and I believe $1,199, basically $1,200, right? In your entire car, 5 layers. May not be a bad deal right there. If you're not scared of hitting a lot of rock chips, and you're not scared of a lot of like acorns, tree branches, shit like that hitting your car, that may be the best route to go, to be quite honest with you, just because it's giving you that full layer of protection, 5 layers of protection, but full car protection. Everything from the fucking headlights to the rear view mirrors, to the side mirrors, to the extra, you know, the whole 9, right? Not a bad deal at all, I would say. $1,200 to protect your car, especially in a scenario where, like I said, you're living in those climates, you probably need that type of protection, and that's something you want to invest in. Not a bad investment at all. You can't go wrong with the ceramic coatings when it comes to that, right? Now, that's coming directly from ceramicpro.com's website, and those guys are experts when it comes to that. I'm not sure if they're the only company that does that. Ceramic coating, OptiCoat Pro, that's Ceramic Pro as well. So yeah, they're pretty much one of the few companies, if not the only company, maybe the biggest company that does that. So that's who you would essentially get your ceramic coating from, is Ceramic Pro. I think that probably makes sense that they're the ones that created it. Ceramic coating, Ceramic Pro, why not? But you know, that's the option that you want to look forward to if you're not worried about actual physical things hitting your car, scratches, dings, dents, things of that sort. You're not worried about it. Now, the next option, like I said, that's kind of the middle grade. So you got your basic wax, anywhere between $7 to a couple $100. You've got your ceramic coating, which is going to run you anywhere between what, $360, that's stage 1, to the gold platform right at $1,200. And then, of course, the next layer up is your, what they call paint protective film, PPF, which in other words is your clear bra. And another company that's really big with the clear bras is XPEL. If you're familiar with like Street Speed 717, he talks about getting his car XPEL'd a lot. Whenever he buys a car, first thing he does is goes and gets an XPEL. I think he just did that with the McLaren 720. He went and got his car expelled, which made sense. And I think in one of his videos, he had already got a rock chip in his car or a little dent before he expelled it, because he drove it a couple days before getting it expelled and he was pissed. And the reason that is because these are preventative maintenance. These are preventative steps that you want to take prior to accumulating and acquiring these dents, right? In other words, I say that to say, you buy the car on a Friday, you want to get your car ceramic coated or expelled like Saturday, Sunday at the latest, right? Just because you don't want those dents and those chips already in your paint and then coat it on top of it. Because for one, those dents, chips, discolorations, they can't be fixed. Like, just because you're protecting them, if they're already there, they're not going to be fixed. Like, it's a preventative tactic to prevent stuff like that from happening. But if it's already happened, there's not a damn thing you can do about it, right? So that's why he was upset in that video, and I'll probably link that in the description where you can see that the film is just that. It's an actual film. It's an actual clear film that they actually put on the car. I mean, it's a film. It's actually thin sheets of, you know, strips of, I'm not going to say paper, but it's a thin strip that's colorless, it's completely clear, and they put it on top of your car and it protects your car. Now, the good thing about that is if you don't want to have it on the entire car, you just maybe want it from the perspective of protecting your front, you can do that as well. Now, the good thing about what they call so the Clear Bra, you have the option of actually protecting certain parts of your car, and the reason being is because it's really expensive to go that route, and I'll go into that later. But you have the option to, and I'm taking this from a generic website, so every shop may be different how they Clear Bra as far as the pricing is concerned, but you can choose to just Clear Bra the front bumper, maybe $390. You can choose to do like a partial where it's the front bumper and the two fenders on the side, which makes sense because those are essentially the parts of the car that's going to take the most damage, right? Those are the parts of the car that are going to hit the damage head on first, right? So it just makes sense. You can do like the hood, the front bumper, and maybe two fenders for like $790, right? Around that amount. Now, like I said, it'll be different for every shop or wherever you go, but it should be around that amount. Full frontal is the bumper, the hood, the fenders, all the way up to the side mirrors, right? That's the full front, and that's going to run you $1,490, right? So going back to what we said, to have the ceramic coating for the full car is $1,200. Just to have the full frontal up to the side mirrors is already $1,490. So we're already more expensive than the full car for the ceramic coating, but I'll get into why in a minute here. A full car, all the way around the damn car, we're looking at $5,000, right? Like, we're looking at stacks, right? Now you say to yourself, why in the hell would I spend that kind of money on protecting my car? I mean, the likelihood that my car is going to get damaged may be slim to none. True, but here's the benefits of a Clear Bra, or actually putting protective film on your car. So with the previous two, I told you that they don't protect against rocks, rock damage, rock chips, any shit like that, acorns, tree branches, limbs, all that stuff hitting your car. Well, in theory, paint protection film should, right? It's an actual film. When the rocks hit it, it's not going to damage the car. Now, what it will do is damage the film itself, which, you know, can become costly in the end, because what you're going to end up having to do is not necessarily replace the front fender of your car and get your car repainted. You're going to actually have to replace that particular part of the expel, or that particular part of the paint protection film, right? So it's going to protect your car if it's going to protect your car from your rock chips, your dings, your dents, things of that sort. Maybe not dents, but your rock chips, things that you see when you get out to wash your car, the little shit that you see up front, all kinds of bugs and all kinds of chips and scrapes and scratches and blemishes. It's going to protect against that, right? Now, it's not impenetrable, because as it's protecting your car from those things, the film itself is taking those hits. So over time, the film itself may need to be repaired or removed completely and then, you know, reinstalled, right? Now, one benefit of the film that many people may not know is it's what they call self-healing. So they put the film, the thin sheet of film, over your car. Your car takes rock scratches, takes, you know, blemishes, minor hits and things like that from rocks, acorns, whatever the fuck is in the road, right? It takes those hits. When you put your car out in the sun, it actually heals itself. So it actually stretches itself back out to form that perfect seal, that perfect film over your car. So it's actually self-healing, and they say it's self-healing in warm areas. So you have to put it in a warm area to allow that film to stretch itself back out and heal itself. So that's one benefit that it has over any kind of wax, whether we're talking about wax or ceramic coating, liquid or whatever the case. It actually heals itself, right? Which is good. That's a pro. The biggest thing with this type of film is that it protects your car from the scratches, the little bullshit, all kinds of stuff, right? Because it's another layer. It's an actual physical layer. It's not a liquid or bonding type of layer. It's an actual physical layer that goes over the car, the entire car, whatever the part of the car you put it on. A lot of people will just put it on their front and their back bumper, which makes sense because in theory, when you think about it, it's the stuff that you're hitting head on and the stuff that's being kicked up beside with cars that's beside you or behind you or that you're backing into that affects your paint. Not really the side so much, or not even the side mirrors, to be quite honest with you, just the stuff that you're going head on into, right? So it just makes sense to get, bits and pieces, or you can get the entire car for $5,000. Things that you need to be mindful of, and I don't know if I mentioned this, is that it does not protect your paint or your car from dents and bruises and injuries and things like that. I hate to use those words, but if something hits you, it's just gonna hit the shit out of you. Like the film isn't gonna do a damn thing to protect that. We're strictly talking about the minor here and there type stuff. UV, snow, rock chips, things like that. That's just something you need to take into consideration when considering one of these three options. The reason I'm making this video ultimately is because, for one, it was topic of discussion in my chat. Two, because I've told you guys that I'm going to be trading this bad boy in probably in the next year or so, and I definitely want to protect it, seeing as how, I fucked up my front bumper. I haven't fucked it up, but I've definitely seen some chips and scratches and things of that sort that could certainly be avoided. And three, I want to know if you guys have one of those two, as far as the clear bra and the ceramic coating. If you do, how do you like it? If you do, was it expensive? If you do, was it installed properly? If you do, how long have you had it? Is it still going strong? Do you believe that it's worth it? Talk to me. I mean, how do you feel about that? Those are important things, because as soon as I get my new car, that's literally going to be one of the first things that I do. I want to get it tinted. I want to make sure that it looks how I want it to look, and then I'm going to get that bitch protected somehow or another, because I'm not washing my car and seeing 13 different rock chips in the front end of my car. And it has nothing to do with the way I drive. I drive my car like a princess, from time to time. But, I just want to know, what are you guys doing out there? Have you done it? Do you know somebody that's done it? If they have, how well is it holding up? Is it expensive? My plan is to probably just get the front end to about the side mirrors with the film, the paint protection film, and then get the rear bumper with the paint protection film. I don't see myself getting a bunch of rocks on the side and on the top. I don't park under a tree, so I don't have that shit to worry about. So I would like to cut costs as much as possible, maybe get it right in that $600 range. That may be the sweet spot to get the front bumper up to about the mirrors, and then the back bumper taken care of, and then leave the rest as it is. That's just kind of my thought process. I don't have any dents on the hood to my knowledge. Everything is literally on the front and the back bumper, right? Which is your two most, connected points as far as what will get hit, right? So that's my plan, guys. That's ultimately the purpose that I made this video. Talk to your boy. Let me know how you feel about it. Did I leave out some points? If I did, please fill it in. Constructive criticism, I love it. Talk to your boy as well. Are you doing it? Have you done it? Are you considering it? One thing you want to be mindful of is these are preventative steps up front. This is not something that you want to do after you've owned your car for 3 years and you've got your shit all fucked up. It's what you want to do if you've owned your car for 3 hours, 3 minutes, 3 days, right? It's something you want to do up front to protect yourself from these chips and scratches and things of that sort. You don't want to try to do it after the fact, because for one, I would assume it's harder for the installer, especially if you're installing film and you've got pieces of your car missing, you've got chips and dents. I would imagine the film's not going to sit right? It's got to have that perfect flat seal on your car. And two, it's probably just not going to look right. It's going to make it look like, so you spent all this money on the bra, but you still got dents. Well, I had that prior too. Well, you shouldn't have, you shouldn't have waited. In that route, you may want to go with the ceramic coating, because, you've already got the dents. Just let the coating go over or in between or whatever the case may be with the scratches. So you definitely want to get this stuff done up front. So this is for a lot of new car owners, right? Or if you know for a fact that your car has no dents, then go ahead and do it, right? I'm going to get that done immediately when it comes time to trade in old Betty here. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, talk to your boy. How do you feel What's your take on it? Do you even think it's necessary? Do you think it's just a cash scam? They're just scamming people. Your car is going to get fucked up one way or another. It's a car. It's meant to be driven. I've heard that argument as well. So as you can tell, it's getting dark here. The damn street lights are on. So your boy's out of here, man. As always, like, subscribe, comment, and tune into the next video, man. Appreciate you for being here. Take it easy.